In every Holly Jackson book, there is a tragic romance and girl bossification of female characters who are in the wrong. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rhea, this is Rhea Reads, and today we're going to be talking about Holly Jackson's books and Not Quite Dead Yet. I got the arc of Not Quite Dead Yet in May. I'm filming this now in June. This is probably going to come out in July, so that's the timeline of everything. And the first thing I'll talk about is Holly Jackson's books in general. Is just my experience with them. A Good Girl Slay to Murder. I read this 2022 and I love the first book. Like, this is one of the first books where I read the entire thing in like a night. Good Girl Slay to Murder takes place in either the small town in England or a small town in America, depending on which edition you have. But it follows our high school girl named Pip, and she's trying to solve this murder for a project in school. And so in her town there's this murder that happened a couple of years ago. She thinks that the person they found guilty didn't do it, so she is trying to track down his brother and solve this mystery, actually what happened. Now, is this realistic? I know this comes at a time where true crime is pretty popular, so everybody thinks that they can solve a crime. I've never been a true crime person. I don't care about glorifying crimes or anything like that. One, it's just not interesting to me. It's sad. And two, after reading Bright Young Woman especially, we really should not be exploiting these murders and these crimes. The confidence of this girl, or anybody who's I'm just gonna solve a murder, is crazy. But this is a book, so I'm okay with it. I'm okay with people solving murders and thinking they're super confident and having whatever abilities in books. That's entertaining. In every Holly Jackson book, there is a tragic romance and girl bossification of female characters who are in the wrong. The fandom feeds into this so much, so I understand Holly Jackson's need to keep feeding into these. Andy Bell, the girl who was murdered, everybody wants to treat you nicely and respectfully, right? So everybody remembers Andy Bell as this sweet person, but you find out stuff about Andy Bell. She was treating her boyfriend badly, she was treating her friends badly. Even though she died, she's not a good person, and I feel in the book they kind of delve into that, and then maybe the show was becoming less nuanced. But I feel anytime I see an edit of Good Girl Slay to Murder, if it's not Piff and Robbie, it's Andy Bell, justice for Andy Bell, and I'm okay, it's sad that she died, but she's also not a sweetheart. I do kind of redeem Andy Bell a little bit in the third book, and I'm not saying Andy Bell is a bad person. I just don't think we should make fan edits of her being the greatest person ever who misunderstood. I do not understand the fandom's obsession with Andy Bell. And then also, I forgot her name, Pip's best friend's sister, who is connected to murder in some way. She knows something, but she's scared to speak up because somebody's blackmailing her. I always see justice for whoever this character is. I forgot her name. You know what she did? She ran somebody over and they didn't do anything. Literally, one of her best friend died. Not the girl, but the guy who's found guilty. That was her best friend. And because somebody's blackmailing her about this, not only did the person she ran over get hurt, but her best friend is found guilty. She's not gonna do anything about that. That's crazy. I like the nuance of these characters. I feel that's so interesting, but I don't understand how people in the fandom are oh, her story is so sad. If my best friend who knew me and who had an alibi for me said nothing when I was found guilty for a crime, I would be so mad. She's not a good friend. Second book, I liked less than the first book, but I still was pretty entertained by it. And I don't even remember the mystery exactly, but I like this trilogy because it connects the mysteries together. The thing I don't love about this is the whole podcast thing. It just seems like a really bad idea to solve a crime and then just announce all of it to the public. I don't know true crime again, so that just seems like a bad idea to me. I feel people usually do podcasts over stuff that's already solved. I love Pipp and Robbie. I love the characters. I love how Holly Jackson's mysteries are all throughout the town, and you think this person does it, but it doesn't, but it's a red herring. But then because you went there, you looked at this, and the mystery for the first book is completely solved, but there's a background mystery that's introduced in the first book that then gets brought up again. So the third book is also connected from these two. Again, it's like a background mystery type thing. And I will get into spoilers now. So spoilers for As Good as Dead starting now. I had mixed opinions on this the first time I read it, because I just didn't love the dark turn it went. Somebody like kidnaps her, and then I think she kills him, and she frames this other guy for it, and then she has to like create a whole alibi with these people, with her friends and stuff like that. I feel like it'd be entertaining because like it's called A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and like you can see her like turn, but like it's more so the fact that this is just like the ending of the series, and it was just like unsatisfying ending, and everything went from like 0 to 100 so fast. Now I'm thinking about this and I'm like, the concept for this isn't that bad. Like I do like this turn. Everything after that is just so weird too. Here I'm gonna get into like a lot of my gripes with, oh, and then here we have like Pip and Robbie break up in the last chapter. For what? Literally, like, I do not understand. I would die on this hill because like she says, okay, we need to break up because it'll be suspicious if we are still together. How is that suspicious? It would be suspicious if you weren't together. And they get back together. So it's like fine, but like I just don't understand this reasoning at all. But moving on. 5 survive. I hated this. This was the worst of like the tropes exemplified. And I do not understand how people like this book. Like honestly, I had a pretty good time like reading it and like getting involved in the mystery and everything. 5 Survive is about a group of 6 people who are in an RV going to someplace, and then all of a sudden they're like stopped, and I don't remember how, but like these people, I think it's like through mics in the van or something, tell them that there's like an imposter and you have to like find out who it is. I don't think this is like a bad book at all. I think the mystery and the thrilling aspects of it are really well done. I just hate the way that Holly Jackson frames these characters in the end. The main character's name, I'm pretty sure, is Red. She has blonde hair, but her name is Red, I'm pretty sure. And her best friend, it's her best friend, her best friend's brother, and her crush, and like 2 other people. I don't know. I'm sorry if they're important. I don't remember them. They're trying to figure out who this imposter is, and like the best friend's brother is like a guy that like everybody hates. And I don't think I hate him because like he's like crashing out in this. He's like trying to figure out who the imposter is. He's being really intense. He is like going before. I swear there's a scene he really thinks that Red's crush, I don't remember his name, is the imposter, and so he like holds him down on the floor and like tries to make him confess or anything, something, and like the crush like almost confesses something, and then immediately like Red and her best friend like get him off each other, and it's like, guess who is the imposter? And guess who dies? Like, at the end of the book, it's framed that they can't be together. And I'm like, he literally like sold you guys out. I do not remember the exact scenario of why the crush was like the imposter, but it was something he could have prevented. The last scene is like of him writing a letter to Red, and it's like, I'm sorry for all these things. I'm like, I hate you, get out. Tragic romance, but also, why are we romanticizing this character? He literally was the cause of all this. The brother character who's actually trying to get everybody out, I'm pretty sure any review or anything where anybody reads this book, it's like the brother sucks, and I'm like, I don't know if the brother sucks. I think the brother is just in an intense scenario and we're all crashing out. That's the worst Holly Jackson book, in my opinion. The next book she came out with is The Reappearance of Rachel Price, which came out last year, and I read it last year, and I also didn't like this. The main character's name is Belle, I'm pretty sure. Her mom went missing like when she was like a toddler or something, and I'm pretty sure it's like a big thing in this town. They're making a documentary about it, and during the filming of the documentary, her mom like suddenly reappears. Great premise, so interesting. I was having a good time with this book up until like the ending where it treats the characters. First off, tragic romance. Literally, this is just like a weird romance too, because it was not necessary at all, but Belle's love interest is this kid named Ash who like works on the documentary film crew. Something happened. Belle like lied to Ash about something. Ash shows up at Belle's doorstep. He's like, oh, like what's happening? Belle just like basically like breaks up with him, but it's like in such a weird way. It was like she couldn't tell him why, so she had to like do this roundabout way. This romance was so unnecessary. This entire romance is literally just here to fulfill the Holly Jackson trope of like tragic romance. And so basically what happens, Belle's dad and grandpa are like the reason that Belle's mom went missing, and I'm pretty sure they kept her in like a shed or something. Dad was supposed to kill mom, and then like something happened. I'm pretty sure she was like kept in the grandpa's shed or something. Either way, mom comes back and there's this like physical fight where the mom and dad fight, and then the mom like tells Belle, she's like, oh, like, hurt your dad. It's like defensive but like still like hurting your dad. And then Belle like thinks about it for like 5 seconds and immediately switches to her mom's side, which to me is just crazy because it's like, this is your dad, like this is the guy who's raised you alone for like the last like 10 years. You're just gonna switch up on your dad like that? I'm pretty sure the dad and the dad's brother like died, which is like super sad. And I swear Belle has like no response to it, and then the mom is like, oh, this is so great, like I'm gonna adopt you now. She has another kid, and it's like a Belle's cousin who is like the dad's brother's daughter. Belle and her mom will show up to her aunt's house and we're just like, we're taking the kid. The aunt asks where her husband is, and they tell her he's in Canada, and they tell her to go into Canada. He's dead. They literally just tell the aunt to go to Canada to give up their kid. The parents also like aren't the greatest. Like I'm pretty sure they like have like weird eating restrictions on their daughter or something, but like that's still a mom who like so clearly loves her kid, and who loved her husband who's just like dead, and she's just like out of the picture. And then like the mom is like, oh my god, like so great, like we can all live together like happily now. What? That mom needs therapy, bro. She's literally been like in a shed for like the last 10 years, but also just like she is no way equipped to handle 2 kids. Like that was traumatic. The shed thing was traumatic, but she also just killed like her husband, and then Belle just goes along with it. Like this is crazy. When I found out that she was coming up with an adult standalone novel, I was willing to give her one more chance, and she slayed. I did really enjoy Not Quite Dead Yet. All of her tropes are the most relevant. Not Quite Dead Yet follows Jet, and like after she's like home from this thing, somebody tries to kill her. She wakes up in the hospital and they tell her she only has a week to live, so she's like, I'm gonna solve my own murder. I did not expect the ending at all, and I will say the mystery is revealed literally in like the last chapter. It's just like Scooby-Doo style, like, you did this, didn't you? And like the entire chapter is like how this person did this. Still didn't expect to see it coming, so like it wasn't a huge problem for me. Spoilers, I did not expect Jet to die. And it's like weird. The doctor literally tells her she's a week to live, and I'm like, no. But it's because she doesn't dwell on it that much. She's like, oh, I'm just gonna solve my own murder. It does not process her mind. Her mom is like crashing out. Jet like is arrested at some point, and she's like writing letters to people, and it's like, oh, like, you know, like I don't know, I just really did not expect her to die. She died. So sad because like she didn't get to solve her murder before she died. And even the solving the murder was crazy initially too, but I'm like, okay. And it makes sense that she wants to, because like she was living in her sister's shadow like her whole life, and she's like trying to do all these big things, and it makes sense that she'd want to go out this way. The person that accompanies her while she's trying to solve her mystery is like her childhood neighbor who's like been in love with her ever since they were kids. It doesn't matter that like this week I like was dying because I finally lived, because I got to spend it with you. She literally dies in his arms in like the middle of the road. But like that's the most relevant out of all of the romances, so I was okay with it. This book isn't out yet, so I don't know what the reception is. There's no character that's like really bad, that's just like just bad. And like there's no character that's like, oh my god, the character is like so good. Like there's no like black and whiteness necessarily that I remember. The family drama in this is insane, and it was entertaining, at least for that. The actual murder, love interest dad, I'm pretty sure he was like the sheriff or something, was the one that killed her, because then love interest's dad had an affair with the main character's mom, and it was like something like that, some kind of like promise, and he was like trying to like prove himself. The main character's love interest share a sibling. His reasoning was like connected to like how Jet's sister was murdered like 10 years ago, and that was crazy. I really appreciate how Holly Jackson's books have like these mysteries that are like all over town, and like this person is this person because of this person. That's the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know your ranking of these books. My ranking is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Not Quite Dead Yet, Good Girl Bad Blood, As Good as Dead, and then probably The Reappearance of Rachel Price, and then 5 Survive. I really hate The Reappearance of Rachel Price now, though. I thought I just like 5 Survive more, but like low-key when I was explaining the plot, I really do not like the reappearance of Rachel Price that much. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like the video, subscribe for more content, and follow me on Instagram. Bye.